when, hey Mel, we're back.
Hi Tim, how are you? I was playing with my light then.
I know. I'm just overjoyed to be back here with you again and to be talking about, this month's, but this week's Curated Conversations session, specifically focused on culture. So could you please tell us some of the key themes that you're going to be leading as you've got the content leading stick this time around?
Yeah. So as per normal, we will look at the collective intelligence of the group and build on that knowledge. But I'm going to start the discussion and hopefully spark it by introducing culture, maybe look at a academic definition of culture, and then we're going to look at the impacts that impact culture. God, I said impact twice then. That was... I'm just going to take that as some humour for our audience out there. So look at some of the key impacts on culture. So that's what this session is really about. And then in part two, we're going to dig a little bit deeper into the different types of culture and maybe unpack a little bit more what a thriving culture looks like, and look at the elements from a high performance perspective. And then we're also going to talk about, once we have all this fabulous info about understanding what culture is, the kind of culture that we want to target, and we're also going to dig into why it's so important to strategy and why it really trumps strategy. We're then going to talk about, what can we do about it as leaders?
And that is, of course, all, and there's a lot in there, that's just the content part of Curated Conversations.
Oh, absolutely. And then, of course, there's the audience participation and the collective intelligence as we sit around that campfire discussion and talk about what it looks like from an actual day-to-day practical perspective. So that is, I guess, the content of what we're covering. What are we really talking about? We're really talking about what leaders can do to impact their teams and to help change direction and lead their teams towards a particular strategy through culture.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to add my 10 cents to your $1.50.
And please add another $1.50 because I'm really in the dark here.
Unintended, very good. Really, so Curated Conversations is all about really it's contextual learning. So we're putting a topical lens on big perennial leadership issues. So, what's driving culture right now? The community that joined us on the day, what are they experiencing from a cultural perspective? What's shifted? What's changed? What's known? What's unknown? And really, sort of working in a very participatory and collective, but primarily collaborative way, to help look at some of these really big sort of integral elements like psychological safety and trust, and how do they impact on culture, and how does culture reverberate them back? And what we always find in these sessions, and there've been 6 of them so far in the current format, is that the real value is created within and by the community together. And typically we get into these points where there's these interplays of experience and feedback and reflection, and oh wow, I'm going to go and do that right now. So that's what we absolutely aspire to create and hope to inspire with the community on Thursday.
Absolutely.
So, Mel, is there anything else you'd like to add before we just wrap this short clip?
Look, if I can quickly just say that culture is one of our 4 original pillars. And when we step back and we talk about why we identified these pillars, these are areas where we're suggesting leaders need to champion it. And they need to be the role model, and they need to be the ones driving this. And so the more that we can bring this conversation to the table on a regular basis, the more understanding we have of how we drive that change and how we champion culture.
Yeah. So if you'd like to join us on Thursday, and there is another follow-on session in May, there's a link in the comments there to the Eventbrite registration details, and we'd love to see you on Thursday.
Love to see you then. And I won't be in the dark, promise.
See you Thursday.
Bye all.